Are you having a hard time figuring out what to get Dad for Father's Day? Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1 and save 15% off your order when you check out Row 1 Brand's Vintage Sports Pictorium Gallery. They have America's best sports art. With over 7,200 historic sports prints, you're assured to find something unique for Dad this Father's Day. If he's an NFL buff, check out the 1963 vintage NFL helmet poster. Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Emmitt Smiths could do it all: run, catch, and block. He's the NFL's all-time rushing leader and a three-time Super Bowl champion. So why is it that so many people want to diminish his accomplishments? Here's why, and here's why I don't buy it. Let's begin by taking a look at Emmitt Smiths' accomplishments. He played for 15 seasons and 226 games. He scored 175 touchdowns, second all-time. 164 rushing touchdowns, first all-time. Gained 18,355 rushing yards, first all-time. And caught 515 passes for 3,224 yards. His career highlights and awards include being a three-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 28 MVP, 8-time Pro Bowl selection, a 4-time first-team All-Pro, a 2-time second-team All-Pro. He was the 1993 NFL Most Valuable Player, the 1993 Bert Bell Award winner, the 1990 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, 4 times led the NFL in rushing yards, 4 times led the NFL in rushing touchdowns. He's a member of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade Team, a member of the NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. He's in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. With all of that, there are still those who refuse to give him his due. Why? Well, 2 reasons based on pure emotion are impossible for me to counter. First, some fans flat out hate the Dallas Cowboys and will look for any reason to put down any player associated with the team. Second, Smith broke Walter Payton's all-time rushing yardage record. Payton was and remains a fan favorite, and some fans can't accept that it was Emmitt Smith, a Dallas Cowboy, who broke his record. Another reason is the never-ending comparison between Smith and Barry Sanders, the highly talented and popular Detroit Lions running back, who played during the same era. It's almost impossible to say anything favorable about Emmitt Smith without someone dragging Barry Sanders' name into the conversation. Those who favor Barry over Emmitt are quick to point out that Barry only played 10 seasons, while Emmitt played 15 seasons. They contend that had Sanders not retired prematurely, he would be the all-time leading rusher, not Smith. And maybe they're right. But the problem with that thinking is that, number 1, it's purely speculation. Number 2, you're going into the what-if territory, which is an endless debate. And number 3, why is that issue so important anyway? It wasn't important to Sanders, or he would have continued playing. Why can't we agree that Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders were two all-time greats and leave it at that? Why try to diminish one player's accomplishments to build up the others? Other reasons that some fans bash Smith can be refuted by recounting events and reciting stats. Here are three. First, some fans contend that Smith only cared about his stats and wasn't a team player. Well, I think it's ridiculous to conclude that Smith only cared about himself. Here's an example. On January 2nd, 1994, the Cowboys played the division-leading Giants in New Jersey. The Cowboys needed to win that game to grab the division title and secure home field advantage in the playoffs. The Cowboys jumped out to an early 13-0 lead, but Smith sustained a separated shoulder just before halftime. Then, soon after, the Giants tied the game at the start of the second half, 13-13. Knowing his team needed to win, Smith endured tremendous pain and, to put it mildly, performed. He not only finished with 229 total yards, but Smith also handled the ball on 9 of 12 plays during the team's game-winning drive. If that's not being a team player, I don't know what is. Second, fans sometimes say that Smith had the advantage of playing on a great team with incredibly talented teammates. While true, you can say the same thing for 75% of the Pro Football Hall of Fame players. For example, does anybody discredit Jerry Rice because he had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks throwing to him for most of his career? Maybe a few people do, but for the most part, he is widely acclaimed as the best receiver ever. Here's another example. Would Jim Brown have been as dominating if he had played on a losing team instead of the Cleveland Browns, a consistently winning team? Maybe, maybe not. It's all speculation. Furthermore, many of those extremely talented teammates played for the Cowboys the year before Smith joined the team. Dallas went 1-15 that year. Dallas went 7-9 during Smith's rookie year, and 12-6, including 2 playoff games, in his sophomore campaign. In year 3, Dallas went 16-3 and won the Super Bowl. Of course, Smith didn't do that all by himself, but he was a significant reason why the team achieved success. Why do I say that? In his 4th season, Smith was involved in a contract dispute with owner Jerry Jones and sat out the first 2 games. The Cowboys lost both of those games. Smith returned in week 3. Dallas won 15 of the next 17 games and went on to win another Super Bowl. Tune in next week when we will discuss the third and most overhyped and overstated reason fans contend that Smith was successful.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hey, are you ready for some football? Some fantasy football? How about some daily fantasy football? Silly questions, right? Of course you are. You're ready to talk some smack and win some cash every Sunday, and Thursday and Monday, and whenever there's football games. The Sports History Network invites you to play your daily fantasy football this season at thrivefantasy.com. Thrive Fantasy offers hundreds of thousands, millions in cash every day on NBA, MLB, PGA golf, cricket, esports, and of course, NFL football. And just to get the 2021 NFL season started right, Thrive Fantasy is holding its $100,000 guaranteed contest with a $20,000 first prize. Sign up with Thrive Fantasy today to get a 100% match bonus on your first deposit for up to $100 in free daily fantasy football play. Visit sportshistorynetwork.com/thrive. That's THRIVE, or enter promo code SHN when depositing at the cashier. Join Thrive Fantasy today, earn cash prizes, and support great shows like this at the Sports History Network. Now that's a win-win-win situation for you to kick off your own NFL season.
We here at the Sports History Network proudly partner with 26 podcasts, all revolving around the history of sports. But did you know that many of our hosts were sports history authors way before they started their shows? It's true. We've got Joe Ziemba, host of When Football Was Football, Joe Zagurski, host of Pro Football in the 1970s, Mark Morthier, host of Yesterday Sports, Tommy Phillips, host of Lombardi Memories, and Scott Adamson, co-host of From the 55-Yard Line. All these authors have many books for you to choose from. To check them out, go to our website at sportshistorynetwork.com/sportshistorybooks. Pick up your copy today. Soundtrack provided by Kevin MacLeod of filmmusic.io.